know a lot about golf.
Well, we're waiting.
The wait is over. Okay, kids, it's time to play. We are those weekend golf guys. John Ashton right here in studio. Jeff Smith in the confines of the Golf Cave, Otter Creek, the Plain and Simple Golf School, Columbus, Indiana.
We're doing a radio show about golf.
Hey, listen, I'm going to apologize up front because I know you're like under contractual obligations to probably not say a whole lot to what I'm going to say. But one of the things that you did the past couple of days, you posted the PGA's new idea on how to speed up play. And you can go to facebook.com/golfguys and check this out. But the way I understand it is they've got this new high-tech flag pin for a green.
Yeah.
And that starts communicating when you put it in and basically times the time between one group putting the pin back in the hole and the next group pulling it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they say that that's a way to speed up play. Okay,
they think so. I'm not sure how that's all going to play out.
It's a way to find out how much they need to speed up play. But unless they take that flagstick and start beating people with it who play too slowly, I don't see any way that I mean, that's going to give them the information they need, and maybe they can go on from there. But I've got to say something, all right? And if they hate me for this, then so be it.
Oh, fire away.
The PGA has no idea about the average golfer's habits or the way they play the game. Everything the PGA thinks about and does is basically, well, it's the only thing they know, which is the professional golfer, hence the name PGA. It's, the P in PGA stands for professional, not pretty good or pretty awful or putrid or pathetic or anything like that, okay? It's Professional Golf Association.
I don't know. I kind of like your putrid. I think that's pretty good. They think they know putrid golfers.
But they lose sight of, you don't have guys. I've got a few suggestions for them. You want to speed up play? Then go to the golf courses that start a new group every 9 minutes and make sure the group that started 9 minutes ago is almost finished with the hole before 15 minutes is up.
Yeah. Because
you start putting people off too soon, and everybody gets backed up, and everybody gets in a bad mood, and nothing goes smoothly.
Yeah. It's difficult. So this tool that the USGA came out with, not the PGA, the USGA came out with this.
Oh, okay.
You stick it on the flag stick. Yeah, it's in the article there. You stick it in the flag stick, and then it kind of triggers when it gets put in and pulled out. Well, maybe this thing will help because maybe it'll just give the guys in the golf shop with the electronic gizmo reader an idea of which group is a little slower than they ought to be. You know what? There's other ways of doing it, and we already have them. They're called volunteer rangers.
Yep.
And if those guys do a better job of not just hunting for John's ball in the weeds, they're doing a great job of actually knowing where the golfers are themselves and actually in the spot to take action and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Bufutnik, you need to move a little faster so that John and Mark can play through. Because everybody knows that, the worst place to be on a golf course is the group right in front of John. He wants the first tee time of the day, and he wants to be out there with nobody in front of him so he can go at his pace.
You give me 3 hours max, I'm out of there. Bam. Actually, the most dangerous position to be is in the group on the fairway next to John.
That's true. On the right side.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of everything that's a legitimate chance to help people play the game faster. Mm-hmm. Even in my position as a teacher, I don't care too much about, at this point, talking about the rules of the game if, for example, those pre-formed grips that put people's hands on the club in a better position for when they normally just go out and play, if that's the thing that helps them square the club face better,
Use it.
USGA, let us use those things and call them legal for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay? Let the guys get out there and enjoy themselves from stopping and hitting it sideways so much because their grip's better. And that'd be a rule that would speed up play because people wouldn't be out hunting for their balls all day long.
Well, that was going to be...
And they wouldn't be mad.
That was
of course, it
gonna be
would probably ruin beer sales.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my point, though. And you can have all the high-tech stuff you want. You can have all the rules in place you want. But as long as golfers who have an inability to accurately hit the ball regularly go out to the course with $4 balls, that's balls that cost $4 each, you are not going to speed up play, because even if they go by the rule book and take only 5 minutes to hunt a lost ball, they're not going to stop before that watch says 4:59:59.
You're right. They're not, because they don't want to have to buy another ball.
Exactly. So what I'd like to say is, if you don't play consistently in the fairway, don't waste your money. And I'm not saying that buying Pro V1s is a waste of money. I'm saying you're wasting your money because you're going to lose more of them than you're going to hit. Go get the $9.99 pack of Wilson Staff 50s at Kmart. It's a low compression ball. It's going to go better with a slower swing speed. When you get to where you can hit those in the fairway consistently, then start thinking about maybe spending $29, $39 and work your way on up to the $50 a dozen golf balls.
Well, you did have a traffic jam on the way in. Get you all stirred up, didn't you?
They're building those bridges, man.
I haven't heard you go on a tear like this in a long time.
It's my pet peeve, although I guess I'd have to start spending that much money on Pro V1s if it wasn't for the fact that the folks in front of me kept losing theirs.
All you have to do is get one of those volunteer ranger jobs, and you can go hunt the Pro Vs all you want.
And they're everywhere. They are everywhere. Okay, that is just my major pet peeve.
Part that makes it the pet peeve of mine is the people who are not prepared to play when it's their time.
Yeah.
They have not had their club in their hand. They haven't even looked at the line that they're going to swing on. They waste so much time when it's not their turn to play. Those are the ones that really irritate me, because I realize that's the majority of the slow play. Because, most of the people that play, casual golfers, they're really not under control of their golf ball nearly as much as what they need to be.
Right.
So we know the shots are going to go awry. It's the time wasted between them. And if they're taking, let's say 90 legitimate shots, and they're not ready for 90 legitimate shots, and neither are the three guys that are playing with them, now you have a real problem.
Right.
So I think it's less about the losing the golf balls than it is about the general theme of, okay, it's my turn. Oh, all right. I'll get out of the cart. I'll put my beer down, and I guess I'll look around to see what else is going on and where's my ball now. Those people who just aren't ready to go.
Yeah.
That's where it grinds my gears a little bit.
Yeah, as the four of you in a foursome move down the fairway, each of you go to your ball. We were behind some guys a couple of weeks ago when we were playing that, we could see there were two guys in a cart. And the cart would move up, stop. One guy would get out, assess the situation, hit his ball, clean off his club, put the club back, rearrange the club so they all looked pretty, get back in the cart, and then would go up to the other guy's ball, which may have been maybe 15 yards to the right of where this other guy was.
Yeah.
There was no reason why they couldn't gotten out of the cart simultaneously, and the one who was away take his shot while the other walks up to his ball. I mean, even if you're not going to take a club with you, you're just going to go up and assess your situation, and after your partner hits their shot, then they'll bring the cart up and you can get the club and get ready to go then. But just don't sit in a cart, with your thumb
in your
nose, waiting to be chauffeured over to where your ball's at,
Better yet, take a few clubs with you. If you have a clue as to how far away you are where you're sitting, and then you can go to your ball, and maybe it's 20 yards away. Why not take a handful of clubs with you? They're just not that heavy. You could carry them, and you could go over there, and more than likely, you're going to be at the distance that you have if you're a halfway decent human being and selected some clubs there that are close to the one you think you need. You're going to have a club in your hand that you can play.
Yeah.
And hit it up there and keep on moving.
Okay. All right. We promised that the next segment will be nowhere near as nasty as was this one. No more.
Somebody's going to drink some nice juice at the break.
That's it. No more pet peeves. When we come back, we will be filled with sweetness and light because we're that kind of guys. We are those Weekend Golf Guys. We're powered by Golf Talk America, and we will be right back.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom112.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom112.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom112.com. Go to freedom112.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom112.com.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-4030. That's 1-800-616-4030. Again, 1-800-616-4030. Call now.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-554-4183 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-554-4183 to take your call now. Call 800-554-4183. That's 800-554-4183. Again, 800-554-4183.
And welcome back. We are those Weekend Golf Guys. John Ashton here in studio. Jeff Smith in the confines of the Golf Cave at Otter Creek. And we're going to head on down to Georgia. And we're going to talk with Lynn Blake, who is a teacher par excellence, friend of Jeff's, which speaks volumes of Jeff, but it's a little suspect about you, Lynn, but we can discuss.
Well, that's usually the case, John. I try to surround myself with people much better than I.
Yeah.
So Lynn is here with us. Boy, I'm glad to have you on the show. Lynn, you're a highly decorated teaching professional. PGA Tour champions, nationwide tour champions. All these people that you've taught, Q School qualifiers, you name it. You're the list of people that you have helped win tournaments. And the list of people that you have taught all around the globe, what do you think, after all of this teaching and all of this communication with people about how they can become better, what do you think has been the biggest struggle that you've had in teaching? Is it teaching the better player, or is it teaching Mrs. Bufutnik, who comes out to you for the first time?
Well, you hit the nail on the head there. The art form is selecting the right students. You pick the right people, they make you look pretty good.
Yeah, that's right.
So far, I've managed to pick a few good ones, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And all these guys were doing very well long before I ever came along. But, it's kind of like being in the weight room. You're there, you're after your personal best. I benched this. And you just about can get that bench press up, and your coach comes along and puts a little finger under the bar, and up she goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all we need, just a little help from our friends. And I've been able to supply that from the hack at the Cub to the top echelons of the PGA Tour, and I'm grateful for that.
Hey, Lynn,
how much travel is in your world right now? How much time do you spend, say, overseas? I mean, you've taught in Sweden, you've taught in the Orient. You've I can't even begin to imagine the airline miles that you have racked up.
It is, but I'm not on the road all the time. When I go, I do go. I mean, Seoul, South Korea, where I was in July, is not exactly on my way home. It's 7,000 miles there and 7,000 miles back. So I imagine that was a frequent flyer mile of 3. And then last year, I try to only do these kind of things once a year, Last year was my European tour, and I first went to Munich, and then, first to Sweden, and then to Munich, and then to London with a stopover in Austria. So that was a 3-week deal. And it is a lot of fun, but logistically, it can sometimes be a challenge. And of course, you got to make sure the students know you're coming.
Exactly. Yeah. and I guess what speaks highly of your qualifications is it doesn't sound like they lost your golf clubs on the trip. Some
ouch.
You got a little break up there. Say that again.
Yeah, just Jeff went to England and Scotland and they lost his golf clubs. So I guess they treat you a little better than they do Jeff.
Yeah, well, then you have an excuse, so that's a good thing.
Hey, Lynn, I want to.
My trips, I don't take golf clubs.
I got you. I want to ask you.
See, that takes care of that. I found that golf ceases to become a challenge when you don't use a ball and you don't use clubs. It's all a mental game. Like the guy said, 93% of this game is mental, and the other 7% is mental.
I've heard it just a little differently. I had heard 93% and 7%, but the 7% he said was in your head.
That's even better. Great, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Lynn, this is John. I'm an average golfer, and when we average duffers get out there and watch the PGA pros play and stuff like that, I mean, we are just totally blown away, and it is so hard to comprehend the fact that these guys actually have any problems that they would have to go to a teacher to work on. What kind of stuff do you see? Is there any overriding problem that they have, or what do you see a lot with the pros when you?
Yeah, well, they just need, really what they need is a second set of eyes, if you will. I mean, you just can't watch yourself. And that average guy you're talking about, that's kind of, that's merciful. That's a gift from the good Lord that we can't see ourselves. What's the Scott is saying? Would to God the gift to give us see ourselves as others see us? Well, I don't want to. Most of these average golfers, they don't want to look. They say, "Do you have video?" And I say, "Are you sure?" The guy comes out. We had a member guest this last weekend. All right, the guy. First time he's ever played the course, he's standing on the first tee with his member, and he takes a big swing, misses it, takes another big swing, misses it, takes a third big swing, misses it, and he turns to his member and says, "God darn, this is a tough course." So anyway,
there's an awful lot of our listeners playing that same tough course.
There you go. Right.
That's a busy place.
No, the tour guys, they moved. Okay, you move the ball a little back, you move the ball a little up, maybe aim a little left, aim a little right. Teaching a tour player is like teaching a fish how to swim. Move your fin here. Do your mouth like this. Gulp, 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 gulp. Do your gills like this. That's kind of what teaching a tour player is all about. But I have learned a secret. See, so sometimes you don't see everything. A while back, I was walking off the practice tee, and I was on my way to Caddy Central somewhere, grab a hot dog or whatever they had that day. And I passed a particular tour player, not a student of mine, but he's always kind of hanging around, ear out, and said, "Hey, Lynn, come take a look." And I said, "Well, okay." So I walked back. Now, what are you going to teach a tour player between here and the clubhouse, which is where you're heading? Okay, everything to gain and nothing to lose, right? So I take a couple of looks. Now, one of the things that tour players are deathly afraid of is being steep.
Okay.
They don't know. A lot of these guys don't know a whole lot about their swings. Trust me, I was amazed 10 years ago when I started on tour. You mean you don't know that? The last 3 tour players I've had in my teaching bay here at Cuscuela, probably between them 400 cuts made on the tour, maybe more. Every single one of those 3 guys began with grip questions. Now, you'd think after 400 or 500 cuts and probably an aggregate of 25, 30 years on tour that they'd have had the grip figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think so.
They needed to ask those questions because they were really good questions and they should have been asked. So anyway, you'd be surprised how little knowledge a lot of these guys have. Oh, they know their own feels. And, of course, their great fear is they're going to wake up one morning and the feel will be gone. It happened to David Duval. 4 or 5 decades ago, it happened to Ralph Gouldall, 2-time United States Open champion. He woke up one morning and it was gone. So they live in fear of that. But anyway, one of the things they do know is that they're not, because other coaches have told them and other players have, they don't want to be steep. So I looked at this guy from the back and I looked at him from the front and like that down the line. I'm wrinkling my brow and I'm looking and he's swinging. He finally looks up at me and I said, "Do you think you might be a little steep?" I knew it. I knew I was steep. I knew. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks. Thursday morning with Guys Mile Witness, he teed off on 10, finishes on 9, and I walked by and said, "Man, that was it. I was steep. I knew it."
That's great. That's great. Did he send you a check? That's what the real question.
Tour, just realize all you got to do is say, keep the steep word in the back pocket. Are you sure you're not a little steep? Okay.
Did he write you a check? That's what I really want to know.
Their hand kind of sticks between the pencil and the book. That's the problem. So, I really pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Yeah, that's terrific, Pippy. Thanks a lot.
That's right.
Hey, Lynn, you and I have known each other for a few years now, and
yes.
and I had first seen you and met you when you were giving a wonderful presentation to a whole bunch of teachers at the PGA Teaching Coaching Summit 3 years back, I think.
Yes, that was 2011 in Orlando.
Yeah, and it was really an eye-opening presentation, not from the information standpoint, but from how you presented it. Tell me, how long have you been talking about things in English as opposed to golf speak?
Yeah, well, first of all, people have different gifts. And this is no brag, okay? We get these gifts from the good Lord. Homer Kelly, who authored The Golfing Machine, I think is the authoritative book ever written in golf. It's a tough read, tough to understand it. But there's never been anything like it. There isn't anything like it now, and there never will be. All of our modern machines are now proving just how right he was. So he had the gift of the researcher. He had the gift of the problem solver. And then you've got the performers. These are the guys who can actually do it, even if they don't know what they're doing. Bubba, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, Bubba's not exactly the supreme mechanic, but he knows what he's doing.
He gets it done anyhow. Yeah.
He says, when my lips are chapped, I know I'm swinging good. Why? Because my left shoulder bumps into my lip. Okay, there you go. Chapped lip. That works for me. Okay. But then you have the communicators. And by the grace of God, I was born with that gift. I didn't try to get it or whatever. It's just something I'm able to do. And I'll pull out every stop in the book to communicate. Demonstration, words, stories, lots of stories, anecdotes. But the idea, an effective teacher must communicate by definition. And I'm able to do that. With everybody, by the way, except my wife. She says, we don't communicate anymore. I said, sweetie, I don't want to talk about it.
She must says, not be a golfer.
Oh, she says, you contradict everything I say. I say, I do not.
That's right.
Well, we've been married for 48 years, so I guess we're doing something right.
I would think so. You know, Lynn, a lot of these things that you've been teaching, what I find interesting is I'm a huge studier of everybody and how they go about doing what they do. I'm stunned at how many people have a piece of what you put together, but they don't have it all.
Well, I didn't put it together. I've been accused of being a parrot, and to some degree I am. My mentor, of course, I've studied everybody. I mean, I wrote a letter to Ben Hogan in 1966 if he would teach me. I got the greatest flush letter of all time that I kept around.
I'm surprised he wrote it.
Well, as it says, he says, I've been away from this. Please pardon the delay in my response. I've been away from the city for the past few weeks. Boom. I'm sorry I can't go along. I've been forced to stop teaching for many years now. Sorry I can't go along with your request, but I do wish you success in your ambition. Have a nice day, Ben.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, so I've been looking for a long time with this golf thing, and I've seen several of the best, the name teachers from, say, 20, 25 years ago, read all the books. I'm very proud of my library. But the guy and I had some good teachers early on, too. One man taught me how to use my hands. That would have been George Preisinger at the Marietta Country Club back in 1964, 62. And then I was 16 at that time. I'm 68 now, so do that math. Woo-hoo, getting late. Better hurry up this conversation. I was watching a TV program the day before yesterday, and it was given life expectancy. I got 10.8 years, so we better hurry here. Anyway, and then Davis Love Jr. was our first head professional at Atlanta Country Club, where I've been a member now for 40 years this June, and he taught me all about the free arm swing. And then, of course, Melvin Hemphill, I was in the service, and he was the head pro at Forest Lakes in South Carolina, and he taught me about the turns. So I had one great pro teaching me about the hands, another great pro teaching me about the arms, and another great pro teaching me about the turn. But the one guy who helped me pull it all together was Homer Kelly. And I spent a week with him, author of The Golfing Machine, in January of 1982. I knew before I went out, I was an amateur then, of course, I knew it was going to be the greatest week of my golfing life. While I was there, I knew it was the greatest golfing week of my life. And to this day, as I communicate these skills, alignments, etc., to the three Koreans who are here for a school this week, and I know that this message will be taken all over the world. As I told them today, see, I could do a lot more individual business, but I've chosen to focus on the teacher. If I teach one person, I've taught one person, and they go back and maybe they teach their wife or their son or something, and that's all nice. But if I teach one teacher with a 20-year career left in front of them, I've really just taught thousands. Right. And if I've got 3 here or 4 there, a certified 16 in Europe this last swing, 16 in Seoul here in July, and the previous year in Europe, well, that was 46, 47. So all of a sudden, if I have hundreds of instructors teaching this, well, my tombstone will read R.I.P. He taught millions. Wow. Okay, that works for me.
Hey, Lynn, let me ask you a quick question before we have to say goodbye here and get off the connection. But is it golf? I mean, you just said you were 68 years old, yet you've got more energy than probably 7 other guys half your age. Is it the golf that...
I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit on this other. Say it again, please.
I say you just said you're 68 years old, but your energy level is phenomenal.
I can go course.
Is it golf that brings this energy to you, or are you on medication or something?
I get excited about what I do. with the message.
Man,
but I can be duller than dirt when I don't have something to do. Ask my wife again. She'll tell you. There's dirt.
All right. Well, man, we appreciate your time.
When you love what you do, when you love communicating, when you know you can give a gift that was given to you, pass it on, then that's really special.
It certainly is, man, and you do it so well. It's been phenomenal talking to you, Lynn. I appreciate it. We'll let you get back to your group from Seoul, and good luck with them.
Start again in 20 minutes.
All right. Well, go grab a hot dog and get back out there and get to work.
Thank you, Lynn. Have a great day.
Lynn Blake, thank you very much.
Jeff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye, man.
Talk, fellas.
See you. Bye-bye. Man, Lynn Blake from some place I've never heard of in Georgia. What a piece of work, Jeff. Oh, man, I can see why you guys are friends. Hey, we have
a great time.
We are those weekend golf guys. We got a lot more coming up. Hopefully more laughs, too, because that was good. But we got to take a break and get back to it here. We are those weekend golf guys, powered by Golf Talk America. We will be right back. Hey, this is John Ashton, and we have got a way for you to actually have a lot more fun watching PGA tournaments this coming year. We got a way to get you some skin in the game. I want you to check out CosmicSports.com. It is a fantasy golf site. Before every tournament, you're going to pick 1, 2, maybe 3 teams of 7 players each. Don't worry. Hey, we've got all the information you will need to make the smart choices as to who you're going to put on your team, but we'll have more details about that later. Right now, we just want you to go to CosmicSports.com and sign up in advance. All right, register with the site, and we will give you some free plays when the new PGA season kicks off in January. January 8th being the first beginning tournament of the season of 2015. CosmicSports.com, fantasy golf. You're going to win prizes. You're going to win cash. It's not going to cost you a whole lot to play, and you're going to go right now and register in advance. CosmicSports.com. That's COZMIC Sports.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-554-4183 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-554-4183 to take your call now. Call 800-554-4183. That's 800-554-4183. Again, 800-554-4183.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-4030. That's 1-800-616-4030. Again, 1-800-616-4030. Call now.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom112.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom112.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 112.com. Go to freedom112.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom112.com.
And we are back, those weekend golf guys. John Ashton in studio, Jeff Smith in the Golf Cave in Otter Creek, Columbus, Indiana, plain and simple golf school. And man, Lynn is a piece of work. Man, where did you run into him? And how can you take a lesson from a guy like that while you're laughing your butt off while you're trying to swing a golf club? Come on,
the best part about that is that he is so well traveled and so well versed that he can have a great conversation about golf with just about everybody. Mm-hmm. And it's just he's a pleasure to be around. And I've had a chance to go out to dinner with him and had a chance to talk to him a few times on the phone. And he keeps trying to tell me that he has some sort of admiration for what I do and the fact that I actually speak English in golf lessons. Yeah. And I break it down as simply as possible, although, knowing what's all the technical nonsense, he kind of likes that. So
he isn't
it's
one of
a
those,
good communication.
He isn't one of those guys you go out to dinner with on the nights at the PGA show and you blow us off, is he?
Actually, yeah.
Okay, I don't feel so bad now.
He was one of them, yeah. But there's a big group of us, that will go out and we'll share experiences, and it isn't one person stands up in the group and says, "Well, I do it this way," and it isn't any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it is sharing some relevant information in a pretty fun conversation, and there's some drinks involved, and we all have some fun with that. But that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's great. I can just see being at a table with those people. Probably, he jokes like a big tipper too, so I'm sure it's probably a lot of fun to wait on a table. Unlike other members of the group that I know that would be there. Speaking of speaking English.
Yeah.
There's something I want to get to because you brought it up in one of the videos, and I just want to once again point out to everybody that should you go to thoseweekendgolfguys.com, and you should go to thoseweekendgolfguys.com, and on the first page there's a little tab up top that says Jeff's Quick Fix. And you go there and you'll see some articles that Jeff has posted, a few videos that Jeff has posted. But one of the things that you can do that makes it such a cool page to go to is you can upload a video of your own self. There's a form right there. You just fill out the form. It's very self-explanatory, and attach the video file from your computer to the form and send it to us. And Jeff will explore in detail your video and get back to you and talk about it. And we got one, and it's one of the things that Jeff, every teacher talks about, every article you read talks about, and I think probably about 3% of the people who hear the phrase reverse pivot know what the heck it means. And I am not one of those 3.
Well, I'll tell you what. I got this video. This one actually came to me a couple weeks ago. I just wasn't able to say it on the air because I picked another one. But this one, Tom from Phoenix. Tom, if you're listening, I hope you are. I sent you back an answer, and you sent me back a nice response on what it was. What I did is I took Tom's video, and I put it through my teaching computer or my video production computer program there that I show him. I drew some lines on there, and I showed him what was happening. Is what was going on. Tom was a guy who, on his backswing, as his hands and arms were moving backwards, in the backswing and up, what he was doing was he was tilting his spine toward the target. So his head was no longer in the middle. It was actually over his front foot. And so what that means is that on the way back down, everything would reverse itself, and then his top of his spine would move toward his back foot, and then his back shoulder would then drop. So let's just say that Tom's a right-handed golfer like the rest of us. Mm-hmm. On his way back, his head and spine would tilt toward his left foot, and his hands would go up in the air. And then on the way down, his right shoulder would drop, his spine would tilt to the right, and his head would wind up over his right foot. Needless to say, Tom's club stuck in the ground by about his right foot. Anybody wonder why?
Exactly. You're going to get a lot more dirt than ball when you do that, aren't you?
Yeah. So Tom had never taken a golf lesson before in what he'd done, and really, Tom just didn't realize how his body was moving.
Right.
So he actually even left me his phone number. So I gave him a call.
Okay.
And I said, "Hey, Tom, here's what I see going on, and this is what I say in your video." And he said, "No one's ever showed me anything. I've never had a golf lesson before." He said, "So what you're saying is I just got to kind of keep my spine centered, and I'm just turning and swinging my arms up and down?" And I said, yeah, that's a good way to put that, Tom. He's like, "Wow, I really got it." Okay. And I haven't heard from Tom, and it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But Tom,
he
if
is
you're
in
out there in Phoenix, I hope you're playing great golf.
Yeah, he can be practicing out there in Phoenix.
Yeah, hope so.
You know, the one of the things that we're putting together, and we'll have it all together and ready for you to win from us. Basically, we're going to award this practice package to one of our Facebook fans at random. And you still have about 2 weeks to become a Facebook fan at facebook.com/golfguys and be ready to get this from us. But it is, oh, come on. It is one of those, hang on one second. Just pause this, okay? Yeah, because one of the things that we're putting together is a little practice package, and we are going to award it at random to one of our Facebook fans. So you've got still about 2 weeks to become a Facebook fan, and you can do that simply by going to facebook.com/golfguys and click the like button, because we'd like you to like us, and we will reward you. But it is a practice package, and, you know, I heard on the news this morning that 82% of the country was in 30-degree temperatures. And this is some stuff that you can also use, not just outdoors at the range or in your backyard, but you can use it in your garage, in your basement, even in your living room if your wife's not home. But one of the pieces in it is the Pivot Pro, which is a foot piece. It's a shoe that allows you to get the feel when you strap your foot in there and set up right, gives you the feel. And be honest with you, if you reverse pivot, it hurts. I mean, it's not designed to give you, negative feedback by giving you pain, but it does. The plastic kind of bites into your ankle if you don't do it correctly.
With this Pivot Pro, John, it's an angled piece that you strap your foot into,
right?
And it's angled in, as in like you step on it.
Yeah,
the inside edge of your foot is lower than the outside edge of your foot. And it's also got this really cool plastic rod that sits on the outside of this unit that doesn't allow your leg to, say, roll out.
Right.
Move away from your ankle on the outside part. And the combination of those two things really sets your leg and your ankle and your knee up really well, so that when you're at the top of your backswing, you are coiled up over it and can unwind off of it really well.
And get a lot more power.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it feels good. And you also have and I keep forgetting what he calls this little doohickey, but it's fantastic. It's a plastic piece, a wrist piece, that keeps your wrist straight during the backswing. Because so many of us, and this is a problem I had when I first started playing, is I used to pronate my wrist. I mean, I'd turn it 45 degrees, during the backswing, which meant that the club face was way open when I came back down through. And again, it's a feel thing. You can do this, take a swing with that thing on your wrist in your living room and just get the feel of what it's like to have a straight wrist all of a sudden, And then we're also going to throw in a Tour View Golf head and body stabilizer, so you can actually get the immediate feedback on how your head's moving and things like that. So just go to facebook.com/golfguys, and we'll have it all there for you to win at random to somebody 2 weeks in time for Christmas.
I think that's a great idea for Christmas. When you think about it, you're dealing with golfers, and they want nothing but golf equipment and golf stuff all the time.
And we have said this once, we will say it again because it bears repeating. Do not, ever, under any circumstances, unless you're just paying for it and it's already been pre-ordered and pre-tested. Do not buy a golf club for your husband, wife, / significant other. Don't do it. Gift certificate. If they need a club, gift certificate. All right. Otherwise, get golf stuff.
Yeah.
Because you never can have too much.
If you're going to get them a club, get a certificate that says this is for a club.
Yeah.
Because the golfer knows themselves which club they need in their bag, but they should get fit.
Right.
To fit
exactly.
them. Don't just wander in off the floor someplace in some shop and go, oh, wouldn't this be great if I got this for my golfing husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or daughter or son, whatever, when you don't know if that's a club that works for them, or even if they needed that club. Maybe they needed something different in their bag.
Yeah.
You just don't know. So get them a gift certificate for a club.
That being said, if any of you come across a Ping, Rapture, Gap Wedge, Green Dot, feel free to get it from me for Christmas, okay? I'm just saying.
And you can find that at clubfinders.com.
Thank you for letting everyone know.
You're one of our listeners who just happens to feel generous. Get on clubfinders.com. Call them on the phone. Tell them that John Ashton needs a Ping Rapture Gap Wedge Green Dot, and they will send it to him as long as you pay them.
That's right. That's right, because I ain't going to do it. That's why I don't have one. That, and it would put 15 clubs in my bag, and you know that I adhere to the rules all the time.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them. How many are there? 437,000 in that book? Or is that just the page numbers in that book?
No, those are the page numbers.
Yeah, it's kind of thick.
It's not the word count, though. No. Definitely not the word count. We're way past the word count.
And Jeff Smith has memorized every single one of them suckers. So.
I can tell you exactly how to access the words in that book. That's right. I use the index.
He was the first person to get the smartphone app for the rules of golf. Hey, we are those weekend golf guys. We are powered by Golf Talk America, and we're going to go take a quick break because I got a cough. We will be right back, don't you know?
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-554-4183 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-554-4183 to take your call now. Call 800-554-4183. That's 800-554-4183. Again, 800-554-4183.
Hey, this is John Ashton, and we have got a way for you to actually have a lot more fun watching PGA tournaments this coming year. We got a way to get you some skin in the game. I want you to check out CosmicSports.com. It is a fantasy golf site. Before every tournament, you're going to pick 1, 2, maybe 3 teams of 7 players each. Don't worry. Hey, we've got all the information you will need to make the smart choices as to who you're going to put on your team, but we'll have more details about that later. Right now, we just want you to go to CosmicSports.com and sign up in advance. All right, register with the site, and we will give you some free plays when the new PGA season kicks off in January. January 8th being the first beginning tournament of the season of 2015. CosmicSports.com, fantasy golf. You're going to win prizes. You're going to win cash. It's not going to cost you a whole lot to play, and you're going to go right now and register in advance. CosmicSports.com. That's COZMICSports.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom112.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom112.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom112.com. Go to freedom112.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom112.com.
And back again, those weekend golf guys. John Ashton here, Jeff Smith with us live from the Golf Cave in Columbus, Indiana, the Plain and Simple Golf School, where it is always 62 degrees inside the cave, winter, summer, spring, fall. It's a lot chillier than that here now. In fact, what we were saying earlier, 82% of the country is in 30-degree weather today, and will be for... And we're not going to go through that whole polar vortex thing again because, boy, that was boring. But just suffice it to say that it's out
I concur.
there, okay?
But the truth is it is warm in the golf studio today.
Yeah.
And, I had a couple of ladies in this morning that they were all bundled up when they showed up, and they're bringing 3 clubs apiece, and they wander into the golf studio. And they've got their winter parkas on, and they got their hats, and they got their mittens on, and they walk in, and they close the door behind them, and they just look at me, and they're going, "You're not bundled up." I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And so they started to take off their stuff, and they realized that it's actually warm in the golf studio. And next thing you know, I've got 2 ladies in there banging balls for an hour, just happy as can be.
Yeah. See, everybody's happy. See, we all need a golf studio we can go to in the wintertime.
Heated.
Exactly. So I think we're going to start a shuttle service. We'll be up there sometime soon. You playing when we go down? We made our arrangements to get down to Florida here in the end of January. Are you playing down? Or maybe I should, let me rephrase that. I'm not going to ask, are you playing golf down there? Here's what I'm going to ask you. Where are you taking us to play golf when we get to Florida this January?
Well, last year I had the good opportunity to steal away for a day, and I went to a place called Stream Song, and it's over near Tampa. Mm-hmm. And it was an outlandishly really cool place. Yeah. I could not tell you how much I enjoyed that day. And it's worth going back.
And how much you would have had to pay for it were you not Jeff Smith, PGA guy.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of that's involved that makes it good. But I'm telling you, it might be worth the drive again. They have 2 courses there, and I got to play one, and I was really looking hard at the other one going, I think I might want to try that one too. So that one's on my radar screen again.
Okay. I just hope you remember the format of the question. That's all. Don't want to get obnoxious and have to ask it again. But yeah.
It's all how many days we get to be down there. That's the trick.
Exactly. I mean, hey, as many as it takes, my man. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah.
The place, the show ends on a Friday this year. Yeah. And but that doesn't mean that the next day isn't Saturday. And
no, I think even in Florida it follows that
Saturday
way.
Golf down in Florida can't be all that busy.
No. January? No. Who goes to Florida in January? Come on.
Yeah.
We are going to be at the PGA Merchandise Show, which is not open to the public. And it's great. Every communication I have gotten from them so far says, please alert your listeners, this show is not open to the public. It is industry only. So consider yourself so warned. But you're going to be able to follow along with us because not only are we going to be doing our regular show, live from the PGA show floor, but we're also going to be doing numerous little interviews with some of the more stellar and luminary and interesting folk. And it takes all kinds, man. You got everybody from, Mr. Calloway himself walking around the floor to, Joe Schmo who's got, the niftiest little ball marker you've ever seen, and he's trying to stop everybody going, "Hey, look at my ball marker!" And it's just a great time.
And we're really glad he's using the word marker.
Yes, we are, and we're going to be doing interviews and doing them live on straight podcasts throughout that entire week. It's January 21st to the 24th, or 20th to the 24th, or something like that.
I think those dates are about right.
20 to the 23rd.
The teaching summit is a couple days before, and it is also private, in not open to the public.
Or the media, as he was just about to remind us.
Sorry. It's one of those invitation-only kind of events, but it is with cost.
Yes, it is invitation only, and I would suggest you not spend any of your time waiting for yours to arrive, John. That's he was going to say next there, but
it's for PGA members. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those events where we're bringing in an awful lot of great teachers to stand up and teach some of the things that they're doing and expose the rest of us to some of the things that they're working on.
Right.
And it's always a pretty good event.
Well, teachers got to learn too.
It's our conference. It is something like that where we all get together and we learn and share information and make each other better.
I would not feel comfortable taking lessons from a teacher who hadn't learned anything new in the past 30 years or 20 years or 10 years or even 2 years.
Unfortunately, there's an awful lot of them still out there thinking that that they still think, hey, nothing has changed. Well, yes, things that have changed, the physics of it has not changed.
Yeah.
The physiology of it really has changed a little bit in terms of what certain bodies can do. But what happened is that we became more aware via all the machines and the tools that we get to use now that did not exist 20, 30 years ago. That has taught us an awful lot about what the body can do, what the club-to-ball relationship is. Mm-hmm. And so some of the things that were taught 20, 30 years ago were a little bit more clear on what really happens and what really is an easier way of going about it. So it's really helped us quite a bit.
If you didn't get a chance to hear our interview with, what was Lynn's last name?
Lynn Blake.
Blake. Earlier in the show, you can always catch us in archived form at thoseweekendgolfguys.com. Just click on the button that says past shows. But obviously he feels Bubba Watson could use a lesson or two.
He knows that Bubba feels what he feels.
Yeah.
And
no idea why, but
and how he describes it, it was beautiful because Bubba says this is what's going on, and you know what? The guy's won 2 Masters, and he just won in overseas in Asia this past week. The guy's made a lot of money playing golf. He's made a lot more money than I'll ever playing golf. So he's got what it is that he feels, and that's all he wants.
I heard he plays at his home club in Florida. He plays, his handicap is +7.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty darn good.
All right, listen, here you go again. Facebook.com/golfguys. If you go there and like the page, not only will you be exposed to a whole lot of the cool stuff that Jeff publishes there, that I publish there. Tara every once in a while says something worth hearing on there too. But you will be able to be eligible to win that little practice package we are giving away with the Pivot Pro foot doohickey. Well, it's called the Pivot Pro, and with the Straight Wrist Pro. He's got a great name for it that I just for some reason can't remember, and also some Tour View Golf head and body stabilizer headgear, so you can see if your head's moving when you practice. All stuff that you can use either on the range or at the practice tee, practice green, in your backyard, or even in your living room. So it's all stuff that's going to get you through the off season if you're in a part of the country that has an off season, and stuff that you can use immediately if you're in one of those beautiful areas where the sun is shining bright and the temperatures are pristine and wonderful, and you're not freezing your butt off. So Facebook.com/golfguys. Please go there, or check us out online anytime, thoseweekendgolfguys.com. And we'll be back tomorrow locally, which you can also access from anywhere in the world if you just go to thoseweekendgolfguys.com and click on the Listen Live button. Did I leave anything out?
No, you did not. You covered every single base that we have to cover, except for the fact that we are powered by Golf Talk America.
Thank you for throwing that in. All right, Jeff, thanks, man. We will talk to you tomorrow. And if you can, go out and play some golf. And, give us a little post on Facebook and rub it in, because we really like that stuff.
I think those of our friends in Phoenix and Southern California, they're still able to play.
Yeah, rub it in again. All right, have a great weekend. Play some golf. We will check you out later. Bye-bye.